You're listening to Texas Top Homes. I'm your host, Freeman Sawyer. Today we're chatting with two of Texas Top realtors, Terri Albrecht and Lesli Childs from the Albrecht Childs Realty Group. Thanks for being on the show.
Well, thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thanks for being here today, Terri and Lesli. To follow up on that question, how do you help the buyer to pick the right builder to work with?
Again, I think it's listening to what the buyer's needs and desires are. And because we have an expertise in that area, we can help educate them about the builders that are out there and what features that are included in their homes. If energy efficiency is, a hot button for them, we can help them find the builders that meet the standards and then go beyond. So again, it's just really listening to what the buyer desires and then helping them.
Yeah, and I think energy efficiency is probably fairly popular right now. Everybody likes to save on their bill, and we all like to be green. Do you find that some builders are way ahead of everybody else on that?
Well, there are certain standards that every builder has to abide by to meet the energy efficiency guidelines, and they seem to change every couple of years. So, Terri and I, having come from that background, we were always learning every couple of years from our company that we worked for what the new standards were, and construction was, they were having to change the ways that they build. And this is, the energy efficiency is just...
it's very significant.
It is very significant in owning a home because it really predicts what is the cost of owning and operating this home. So people can get carried away with, I want to buy this beautiful home, but you also need to understand how much it's going to cost to own that home and operate that home every day,
right?
Being the electricity or the HOA or the water bills or whatever it may be.
Well, and again, a difference between a pre-owned home that is maybe 20 years old and a new construction home. A home that was 20 years old, their windows aren't going to be as efficient. They may not have the same insulation values. They're not going to have some of the tech shield that really help reduce those energy bills. So again, it does boil down to the operating, and you can compare, and we'll help our buyers look at the operating expenses and get a look at the utility bills and compare an existing versus a new construction, and it is significant,
right?
Hundreds of dollars.
In pre-qualifying people for mortgages, right? Energy efficiency isn't one of the things that we generally talk about,
right?
But it certainly does make a difference in a family's monthly budget on what they're going to spend on electricity and gas.
Absolutely.
Right? In a hot Texas summer to air condition that home, on a brand new home versus a pre-owned home, there could be a significant amount of money. There
are other costs involved in owning a home than just the price of the home, and that's what Terri and I love to help educate our buyers on that, because they don't think of these other things. They're set on that home. We want to afford a home. We can afford a home in this price range. Well, you have to look at all the surrounding factors that are involved in owning that home and just being in that community too. Some of the communities are mud districts, and so the taxes are a little bit higher because they are in a mud district. Some are on city water and sewage, so the taxes are a certain number that they work with. So
there's a little bit of navigation that an expert like yourselves can help somebody through those things that maybe
absolutely
the regular Joe doesn't know quite to ask yet.
Yes, yes. And then new versus existing. Also on new, you have the warranties, and that's a pretty big deal too, because usually builders will have a 1, 2, and 10-year warranty. First year's a builder's warranty, bumper to bumper. So those are important questions to ask a builder. Not all builders have to give warranties, but most of them do.
And I'd love to ask this question. The customer is going to use that warranty, correct? I mean, that house isn't going to be perfect.
Absolutely.
Right. You've got to remember, in new construction, it's built with hands of man, not a machine. So there will be things that come up, and living in a new home, you have to work the kinks out. So there are going to be some areas that come up that you definitely want to use the warranties.
So the warranty and the customer service is super important.
It's very
absolutely
important.
Yeah, that's great. Terri, how can folks find you online? What's your website?
AlbrechtChildsRealtyGroup.com.
And if somebody wants to list their house with you and they want to call you and talk to you about it, what's your cell phone number?
972-467-2368.
And Lesli, if somebody's thinking about new construction and they want some help from an expert, how do
Give
they
me
reach
a
you?
call, 214-457-1887.